Hello guys, welcome to the security update, which will always focus on issues concerning security in Africa, and these are the stories making the headlines. Somaliland Army Chief says they want to live in peace with Somalia's Puntland state. Somalia and Ethiopia intelligence agencies meet in Mogadishu. Somalia government names insurgents as Khawarij punish use of Al-Shabaab in the public. Cameroon says it has received many Nigerians fleeing Boko Haram attacks. Welcome to the program. Somaliland Army Chief Ismail Tani has called on Somalia's Puntland state officials to refrain from statements that could create unprecedented tensions between the two countries. Tani also revealed that Puntland has plans to wage war on Somaliland territory, but his army is fully ready to defend it.
In a response to a statement made by Somalia's Puntland State Army Chief on Thursday, the Somaliland Army Chief Ismail Tani clarified in strong terms that Somaliland wants to live in peace with all neighboring countries, of which Somalia is among them. Tani said any military advancement taken by his troops did not violate other countries' territorial borders following the siege of Boame village by Somaliland Army last week. He told Somalia's Puntland officials to keep a distance from the statement that could create tension between the two countries. The Somaliland Army Chief revealed Puntland's plan to wage war on Somaliland territories. However, he said his army is fully ready to defend his country. On the other side, Somaliland Army Chief declined an accusation made by the Puntland officials that Somaliland is a state terrorist-sponsored. He further said that the recent report released by U.S. government on Somalia's territories are mostly hailed from Somalia's Puntland state.
Somaliland government has welcomed the peace agreement reached by the Ethiopian government and Tigray People's Liberation Front to be an essential to ending the almost 2-year war that has seen much displacement and death on both sides.
The Republic Government of Somaliland has officially supported the peace deal signed by the Ethiopian government and Tigray People's Liberation Front. In a statement issued by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Somaliland on Sunday, 6 November, the government commended efforts by the African Union and the former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo on their diligent efforts for the peace talk to happen. The Republic of Somaliland government stated that they always believed that the peace would prevail and the ceasefire is something for both parties to start build on to have a long-lasting peace in the region. The government also congratulated their neighbor and brotherly country. The Republic of Somaliland stated that they look forward to the establishment of a work relationship between the two parties for the future of the region's peace, security and development.
Also, Somalia government welcomed the peace agreement reached by the Ethiopian government and Tigray People's Liberation Front to a permanent end to a 2-year war that killed thousands of people.
The federal government of Somalia has officially supported the peace deal signed by the Ethiopian government and Tigray People's Liberation Front. In a statement issued by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Somalia, it commended efforts by the African Union in its value support for peace talks. The government congratulated the Republic of South Africa for hosting the peace talks and the positive role of the Republic of Kenya in the agreement that augments stability in Ethiopia and the region. Somalia hoped the agreement, African Problem, African Solution, would pave the way for a comprehensive Ethiopian reconciliation that ultimately ends violence, internal strife, and aspiration of secessionists, and above all, promote prosperity and economic growth for Ethiopia, the region, and beyond. The Somali government pledged to support this agreement to become a lasting solution and a lesson to learn. The war, which broke out in November 2020, has pitted regional forces from Tigray against Ethiopia's federal army and its allies, which include troops from other regions and from neighboring Eritrea.
Somalia and Ethiopian national intelligence agencies have met in Mogadishu and emphasized the importance for the two countries to enhance to collaborate on security issues as well as the fight against terrorism. The two national intelligence chiefs of Somalia and Ethiopia held a meeting in Mogadishu. The pair discussed it and have agreed on to continue their joint efforts to prevent terrorism, according to the Somali state media. The meeting between Somalia's National Intelligence Chief Mahad Salat and the Deputy Director General of Ethiopia's intelligence agency Sise Tola coincided at a time when the Somali government carried out massive attacks against Al-Shabaab to eradicate the group. Mahad Salat extended gratitude to the Ethiopian government for supporting his country in the fight of terrorism. He also welcomed the recent peace deal between the Ethiopian government and the TPLF. On the other side, the Deputy Director General of Ethiopia's National Intelligence Agency Sise Tola reaffirmed his government's commitment to collaborate with Somalia in terms of security. Sise Tola was saddened by the last week's twin bombs in Mogadishu that killed over 100 people. The U.S. government said it has carried out an airstrike by the request of Somalia's government in an effort of the ongoing war against Al-Shabaab. But we will be back after the short break.
Making documentaries is one of the most creative craft and challenging endeavors you can be involved in. It is an effective strategy to inform, persuade, educate, defend a perspective, and shed light on various issues, policies, and activities. At CBA TV, documentary production is our forte. We capture every TikTok detail of events in highest resolution to tell the story you care about, from politics to human hunger, research-based content, educative and informative. We also help you project your story in a dynamic perspective that attracts the world views of the target audience, as there is no better or more powerful way to place the organization's values and achievements than to make an excellent documentary film. No doubt, our strength lies in these ventures, and we pride in many award-winning documentaries which have been earning accolades across Africa and beyond. Let's tell your story.
Welcome back. The U.S. government said it has carried out an airstrike by the request of Somalia's government in an effort of the ongoing war against Al-Shabaab. The airstrike killed 15 Al-Shabaab fighters and no civilian casualties were reported.
The United States military says it has carried out an airstrike in support of the Somali government's operation against the Al-Shabaab that has killed some of the group's fighters. A statement by the U.S. Africa Command described the airstrike as being carried out Thursday in collective self-defense and the request of the Somali National Army near the town of Adale in the Middle Shabelle region. The statement added 15 Al-Shabaab fighters were killed and no civilian casualties were reported. The U.S. noted as Somalia remains key to the security environment in the region that the U.S. government will continue its support with the Somali government to degrade Al-Shabaab. The U.S. was among the first Western countries to support the ongoing war against Al-Shabaab and encourage clans to join the war and free their territories from Al-Shabaab.
The Somali National Army and local militias say they have killed at least 100 fighters as retribution for last week's car bombings that killed more than 100 people in Mogadishu.
The Somali National Army forces said they've killed over 100 members of Al-Shabaab in a recent military operation carried out by the Somali National Army with the support from pro-government militias in Somalia's Hirshabelle state.
Furunta koobaad ee boqol wada socota hal mar uga dhimato waa midii koobaad weeye ee dagaaladii socday. Mar walba cadad badan baa ka dhimanaya laakiin boqol wada socota meel laga helo meydadkooda waa midii koobaad weeye.
The Ministry of Information revealed that a coordinated military operation by two camps in the El Hereri area from Hiran region resulted in a resounding defeat of the Al-Shabaab, with a large number of the fighters meeting their end. The government has confirmed that El Hereri, which was previously a key hub for the group, is now fully under the control of Somali National Army and the local residents. The army also regained control of Garasmagan, Nurdugle and Adalahay and many more areas from Al-Shabaab as the result of the ongoing war against the group, which is underway in some parts of the country.
More than 1,000 Nigerians, according to Cameroonian officials, have entered the nation in the previous 3 weeks as a result of Boko Haram attacks in Borno State's northeast. Attacks by violent insurgents have led more than 36,000 people dead, mainly in Nigeria, while 3 million have been forced to flee their homes, according to the United Nations.
Cameroon says more than 1,000 Nigerians have crossed the country's border in the past 3 weeks, fleeing attacks by Boko Haram militants in northeast Borno State. This has added to Cameroon's overcrowded camps, struggling to feed displaced Nigerians, as the country is also dealing with an outbreak of cholera. Cameroon's military says the Nigerians were displaced by a fresh wave of Boko Haram atrocities. A community leader in northern Cameroon, where most of the Nigerians have sought shelter, said his region is most affected by the influx of people displaced by Boko Haram from Borno State. Cameroon's government says host communities and charity groups are providing food and water to the newly arrived people. The World Food Programme, WFP, this week said it has a 40% shortfall of the $37.8 million it urgently needs to provide food and other humanitarian assistance to several million people in Cameroon, including displaced Nigerians. Boko Haram attacks have left more than 36,000 people dead, mainly in Nigeria, while 3 million have been forced to flee their homes, according to the United Nations.
Somalia's Religious Affairs Ministry has officially prohibited the use of the name Al-Shabaab, which literally means the youth in Arabic, for its fighters, with a call on the public to refer to the group as Khawarij, a derogatory term meaning a defiant sect.
In a statement on its official Twitter page, the Ministry of Religious Affairs banned clerics from dealing with the Al-Qaeda-affiliated groups or having a conversation with them. The ministry said the order to tag Al-Shabaab as Khawarij was part of the war against the group. The Twitter page reads, "The Ministry of Awqaf and Religious Affairs has banned Somali clerics from visiting and dealing with Khawarij groups." According to a report from the local media, this is not the first time the Somali government has given another name for Al-Shabaab. Twitter user Abdul Wahab Sheikh Abdul Samad said this action will solve 25% of the Somali problem. Ahmed Madobe removal will solve another 25% of the Somali problem. Stopping foreign meddling will solve another 25% of the problem. And warlords and other mercenaries taming will solve another 25% of the problem. In 2015, the government directed media to refer to the group as Ugus, a Somali acronym for the group that massacres the Somali people. Al-Shabaab, in response, threatened to punish anyone, including journalists, who obeyed government directives or used the term. Also, last month, the federal government of Somalia banned local media outlets from reporting on Al-Shabaab activities and also asked social media operators to delete their accounts on their platforms.
And with that, the story of the Somalia's Religious Affairs Ministry officially prohibited the use of the name Al-Shabaab for its fighters, with a call on the public to refer to the group as Khawarij. We'll wrap up our program for this time. Thank you very much for being with us. This is me, Hamze Daabjeerin.